Bing boing bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip.
Guys, this is Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy One Skip, and I am Toddy One Skip. And you know, so I have something that I want to say that I was just so I spoke with Sunny, who has now changed the name of her group to Sunny Rose Foundation, and they're just worried about, and this is legit. They're worried about the exploitation of people that might be of weaker mind or mental capacity, and them being manipulated by other people. And so they're not just focusing on the three that are um, in a facility right now. They're gonna make it bigger than that, and they're gonna focus on like a lot of people that unfortunately are manipulated or taken advantage of by people. So, that would be for those of you that follow me on the other channel. That's Nick Godejohn, right? Because Nick was taken advantage by Gypsy, and now he's doing life in prison. So there's about living, and there's about living in prison, and this whole thing is called basically coercive control. Anybody that can manipulate, be of mind or be financially, anybody that, it's almost like a bully like behavior, somebody that has control of everything, that manipulates other people, is coercive control. So uh I want to tell you that, let me just go on to tell you that, first of all, I'm really sick of people bashing the way the Whittakers lived. We see a show, it comes on probably every week. I think it's even in uh replays now. The Hoarding Show, where you go into somebody's house and it's just appalling. They have so much shit in their house that you can't even walk through the house. I mean, there's a show about this, okay, where people just can't let go of things. It's a mental thing. The Whitakers didn't live half as bad as some of these people that live on that Hoarding Show. Yet people want to put in our mind how bad the Whitakers lived so that they can find excuses for their behavior, in my opinion. Listen, I spoke with Sunny. She was fine with me. I don't think it's right to go into somebody's home and put a recorder in their pocket and go in there unless there's a reason why you really have to, record somebody for your own protection, because you're afraid that they might say something that might not be true. But that would come with a warning. So you wouldn't really go to their house if you had that kind of warning. So I have a problem with that. And I spoke to Sonny about that. And I spoke to Sonny about, how Patrick felt. Forget that it's Patrick. Imagine anybody going into your house, taking an inventory of your shit and telling it online, and then making subtle accusations about what perhaps happened to somebody else's stuff because you see somebody else's stuff, and that was wrong. It's, in my opinion, she shouldn't have said a word about what is in Patrick's house. Now, when I spoke to Sunny, she said maybe she could have handled that differently. I was kind of hoping she would say that besides me on the phone, to maybe say something like that online where, she walked into Patrick's house. It was wrong of her to record him. And, it was wrong of her to take an inventory. I wish she would have said that, because Patrick could use an apology right now with everybody beating him up. And it's the right thing to do, period. Especially when you're telling somebody, maybe I could have handled that differently. Get online. You're a grown woman. Get online and say, hey, listen, I said that wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Besides that, I do want to say that I've looked into Sunny, and she's about helping people in her way. Okay, so when somebody helps us, unfortunately, they want to help us their way, the way that they think we need to be helped. It might not be the way we think we need to be helped, but it's their way. And what's that saying? You got to dance to what the person's paying for the band to play. If you're not paying for the band to play, then you kind of got to dance with the songs that they're picking. Otherwise, you give them a tip and tell them what to play. So, the Whittakers, they were a family that existed without us. We found them. You know, Mark Leda introduced them to us. He wasn't even looking for them. He didn't have a clue. So these people were happened upon, and they had an incredible story, and they do have an incredible story. You know, that family is more unique than any family I know because of the outside of it. But the inside of it is just as quirky and real as any other family. They understand what Ray's saying when he barks. They understand. I mean, Betty understands Lorraine. It's amazing. They have their own language and they understand it and they have their own love and they had each other and they weren't bothering anybody. And they didn't ask. But somebody came in and thought, "Oh, wow. This is right for the picking." Yeah. And I'm not saying that that's Patrick because he's been there. I believe that Patrick felt some sort of connection to Timmy and that he thought, let me see what this is all about. Let me just break down this wall and let me see who Timmy is. You know, let me just see who he is. And then through that, he built a friendship with Timmy. I think that Patrick is a friend of Timmy's, a legitimate friend of Timmy's, where he just wants what's best for Timmy. Timmy time, according to Patrick, was never something that he sold. Cameos of Patrick, but Timmy time wasn't that. Timmy time was just time for Timmy to be a regular guy and do things that he had never done before, according to Patrick. And somehow that gets like put under the rug, but that's there. And that was there before Eric Carroll ever came into play. And that's something that, Patrick doesn't seem to get credit for. And even with Sonny, her opinion of Patrick isn't very good. I don't know if it's because of the way Patrick lives. I don't have a clue, but Patrick, I think, has shown a lot of character, especially he was on Lady K's Live. Here's what I've seen receipts on. There's a shed outside the Whittaker home that Patrick's paying for. Patrick's been making those monthly payments on it. The receipt was shown. What's Eric paying for? What's Sonny paying for? I'm not beating up Sonny. I think Sonny went in there and she wanted to help the family get back together. But I don't think she was trusted by the Whittakers because there was so much shit going on with everybody else that they skewed, the vision of who Sonny was. Nobody has to like Sonny. All she had to do was go in there and do what she said she was going to do. And honestly, I don't think she was given the chance to do that. She didn't have to get along with Patrick. And Patrick even says, I don't give a shit if she got along with me or not. If she was there doing something right for the Whittakers, let her do something right for the Whittakers. But then you got people and they keep making these stipulations. Well, if you talk to this person and you talk to this person and you do this or you do that, and no, that's not it. How about there's just no stipulations and you just try to do the best you can? How about that? You know, I mean, you keep telling one person, she's got so many people in her life telling her what to do. God knows how that woman copes. I'm talking about Betty Whittaker. Guys, yeah. I don't know what it looks like in Sunny's group. The name of the group now is Sunny Rose. They're going to do a nonprofit again to help the exploited behavior of people when it comes to people that are easily exploitable, right? So I'm all for that. I think that that's fine and good. I don't think it's near as direct as helping the Whitakers as I had hoped. And I don't know if she's just given up on the Whitakers not coming home, or if she just doesn't think that they're able to come home or not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Sonny thinks it's not in the best interest for the Whitakers to come home. That's the problem that I have. It's not up to us. It's not up to us. Somebody went in there and broke up a fucking family. And he's gone. He left. He went to Georgia. He don't care. He's not even giving them anything. You know, as a matter of fact, he's saying to them that they broke a contract with him because they were talking to other people online. You know, yeah, Eric wrote a contract that the Whitakers apparently shouldn't be talking to other people or do anything with other people online because it's in competition of what he was doing. That's the businessman he was. I thought it was about helping the Whitakers, getting as much people out there showing information to help the Whitakers. That's what I thought it was about. When anybody starts making restrictions about who people can see and what people can do, it makes their world smaller. So the helping, it's like it's it's hypocritical almost. How many people you want as much help as possible, but you only want to tell a group of people what's going on. No. Or you only want a group of people to know, or you want to keep certain people out. No. If you want help, you fucking scream help to everybody. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. But when people want to control the narrative, sometimes the help isn't what's heard, and it doesn't get to the people that need it. You always have to have the message more important than the voice that gets it out there. The message has got to be more important than the voice. That's the way that I feel. Guys, this is Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Again, I want to make it clear that I haven't found anything on Sunny that would be criminal behavior or anything like that. You have to decide about somebody's good character. And when they show you who they are, you have to decide, is that good character? Is that not good character? I'm going to leave that up to you guys because you're all a grown up and you can decide that, right? Guys, oh God. This is Everybody Has a Story to Tell. Don't let this story be yours. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget, Patrick did a 4-hour question and answer live today on Lady K on October 7th, 2025, Lady K's channel. Please check that out. Please check that out because, he deserves a platform to speak as well. And you guys decide, is he telling the truth? Do you believe him? He's been there longer, and the Whitakers were together when he was there. So. All right, guys, I thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, please. And just try to be good to each other. That's all we can do. And try to listen to each other, and try not to fucking judge people, man. Come on.
Bing, boing, bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip.